country is hard at work. While others argue over sanctions, unable to keep up, they struggle to bring her down with trade barriers. Others try to slow her down by mimicking her every move. Yet, her answer to all of them remains the same: relentless work. In the history of mankind, the most devastating famine ever recorded occurred in this very country. Just 60 years ago, within 2 years, 30 million of her children perished from hunger. Many who witnessed that agonizing starvation are still alive today. In just 60 years, both famine and poverty have become history, and this nation has become the second wealthiest on earth, the People's Republic of China. Today, we journey to the land of an unprecedented economic miracle, Earth's new superpower, China. While the economies of most nations revolve around services and agriculture, they often fail to find joy in industrial leadership. There is a reason for this. When an economy is led by industry, new technologies are born, and high numbers of citizens find employment. Because there is no shortage of supply and shipping, the price of goods within the country decreases, stabilizing the cost of living. Manufacturing countries sell more and buy less, allowing their economies to grow without interruption. Above all, industry is a feeder. It utilizes raw materials from agriculture and stimulates the service sector. This is the dream of many nations, but China is living that dream on behalf of the world. It might be shocking, but China alone produces 70% of the world's mobile phones, 35% of electronic products, 32% of cars, 60% of aluminum, 55% of cement, 50% of steel, 40% of textiles, and 70% of children's toys. Consider this: there are 195 countries on Earth, yet China alone manufactures 35% of all global products. Many of us hold a mistaken view. We think China only floods the world with cheap, low-quality goods. Let's use an example to clarify. Regardless of the brand, we all have mobile phones. If our budget allowed, most of us would be thrilled to own one specific brand, the iPhone. This product is American, and because of that, we hold it as the standard for quality and prestige. But if the iPhone were Chinese, would we be as proud? The truth is what you've been dreading. Apple does not manufacture a single iPhone in America. iPhones are manufactured entirely in China. While some production has recently shifted to Vietnam, Taiwan, and India, 100% of iPhones used to be made in China. Even today, 85% of iPhones, including the flagship Pro Max models, are made in China. One of the 3 Chinese companies manufacturing for Apple is Foxconn. It employs 350,000 workers. The factory is so large it is called iPhone City. Here, 500,000 iPhones are produced every single day. This single factory produces 50% of the world's iPhones. Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, explains why Apple and thousands of other global brands choose to manufacture in China. He says there is a misconception about China. People think companies go there for cheap labor. Tim Cook says he doesn't know which China those people are talking about, because China stopped being a low labor cost country many years ago. We come to China because of the skill, he says. From a supply chain perspective, the quantity of skill in one location is unmatched. If you gathered all the American engineers with the specific skills Apple needs, they wouldn't even fill a single room. In China, however, you can find enough highly skilled engineers to fill multiple stadiums. China is also a leading nation in artificial intelligence, second only to the United States. In China, when you call a ride, a driverless car, robotaxi, arrives by your side. You cannot simply open the door and enter. You must input the last digits of the phone number used to book the trip. Once inside, you cannot just drive off. A polite voice instructs you to fasten your seatbelt first. Then it asks if it can begin the trip. Only after you confirm does the journey start. These driverless transportation services aren't limited to cars. There are also large autonomous buses. According to an August 2024 report, 16,000 driverless vehicle permits have been issued in China. Now, let's look at supermarket technology. Suppose you enter a supermarket to buy groceries. In any supermarket in the world, you find a cart to hold your items. The Chinese cart is different. It isn't just a container. It features a screen that lists every item in the store, their prices, and their exact locations. All you have to do is scan your selected item before placing it in the cart. You don't have to wait in line for a cashier to ring up your items. The cart handles the payment itself. You can serve yourself and leave exactly the way you came in without interacting with anyone. But you cannot cheat. For example, if you put an unscanned item in the cart, it won't tolerate it for a second. It displays a photo of the item and tells you to scan it. If you don't, it sends a message to the supermarket staff. China also leads the world in communication technology. Most Asian, African, and European countries, including Germany, Spain, Italy, the Netherlands, Portugal, Greece, Austria, Poland, and Hungary, use China's 5G technology. In Africa, 70% of 4G networks were built by a single Chinese company, Huawei. China studies the hidden problems of nations and turns the solutions into a source of income. To bring it closer to home, let's look at ourselves. While we have spent 1,000 years weaving by hand, China is now manufacturing our own traditional cultural clothes by machine and flooding our markets. While this is a concern for our local weavers, it is an incredible opportunity for consumers who want to wear traditional clothing at a lower price and an unbelievable business opportunity for China. China loves speed, and truthfully, you shouldn't be surprised by her speed. She has taken on the responsibility of leading the future world and deciding its fate. You cannot lead the world while moving at a snail's pace. China's race is a race against time. Time is overtaken by speed. Speed brings us to transportation. 66% of the world's high-speed rail, HSR, is located in China. All European countries combined have 11,900 kilometers of high-speed rail. China alone has built 45,000 kilometers. To put that in perspective, if laid out in a straight line, it could circle the entire Earth twice. The definition of speed varies between China and the rest of the world. The International Union of Railways says a fast train must travel at 200 km/h. In China, 200 km/h is considered crawling. China's fast trains travel at 490 km/h. For example, the distance from Beijing to Shanghai is 2,400 kilometers, roughly the distance from Addis Ababa to Jigiga or Gondar and back. In China, that 1,400-kilometer journey takes only 4 hours. The distance from Beijing to Guangzhou is 2,100 kilometers, roughly the distance from Addis Ababa to Asmara and back. This journey would take 24 hours on a standard Chinese train. On a high-speed train, you arrive in 8 hours. Yet, China is still building what she considers her true fast train. The line being laid between Shanghai and Hangzhou will travel at 1,000 km/h, like reaching Asmara from Addis Ababa in 1 hour. Today, there are very few commercial airplanes that can travel at 1,000 km/h. When this train is finished, China will have reached her destination before the plane even takes off. China herself is faster than her trains. The railway miracle we are telling you about happened in just 16 years. 16 years ago, China didn't even know high-speed rail. She introduced the technology to the world for the first time in 2008, building a line from Beijing to Tianjin for the Beijing Olympics. China's ambition is vast. She won't rest until her influence reaches the whole world. To this end, she has launched the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, a massive project unprecedented in human history. The project aims to connect 150 countries and 75% of the world's population through high-speed rail, fast roads, ports, power plants, and bridges. Laos and Indonesia are already beneficiaries. The Laos-China Railway, 414 kilometers long and built for $6 billion, connects northern Laos to China and southern Laos to Thailand. It began service in 2021. Laos, the only landlocked country in Southeast Asia, suffered from a severe lack of infrastructure. While Westerners claim this railway has burdened Laos with unpayable debt, the people of Laos are seeing trade and tourism accelerate. The Belt and Road has also reached Thailand, Vietnam, and Kenya. Every Chinese citizen is known by their government. This doesn't mean they just have an ID card. In our country, if you don't have a house, you don't get an ID. Without an ID, the government doesn't know you. You can move from place to place, and you might be harassed as a stranger. China doesn't know her citizens that way. She knows them just by looking at their eyes. This is no joke. Everywhere a citizen goes in China, the government knows them by scanning their face and eyes. 700 million surveillance cameras are installed across the country. Roughly one camera for every 2 people. These cameras record your every move all day and send it to the government database. The government uses this data to give citizens a social grade. This system is called social credit score. It is a system where the government encourages good citizens and punishes those with bad behavior. It is similar to the American FICO score or credit score, but with a difference. While the American score focuses on finance, the Chinese score covers everything. Every action you take during the day is recorded and assigned points. The lowest score is 1, and the highest is 1,000. Everyone starts at the top with 1,000. If you behave well, your points stay there. If you do wrong, your points drop. Suppose you are driving and break a traffic rule. The traffic police will penalize you. But the trouble doesn't end there. The camera that saw your mistake reports it to the data center, and your score drops accordingly. If you don't pay back a bank loan on time, you've betrayed the bank's trust and are deemed untrustworthy. Your points drop. If you don't use a crosswalk, if you get drunk and rowdy, if you insult people on social media, if you defame someone, if you get into a fight, or if you are a repeat offender, you lose points for every infraction. But it's not just about mistakes. If you help an elderly person or a disabled person cross the street, the camera reports that too. This adds high points to your score. If you return something you found, if you help people in need, if you pay your debts on time, or if you respect traffic laws, your points increase. This score then determines your daily life. If you have a high score, you can get bank loans easily. You get priority in government offices. When you buy or rent a house, you get tax and service discounts. You get opportunities to work in prestigious offices and study at top universities. Conversely, if your score is low, you won't get a loan. Buying or renting a house becomes a struggle. If your score drops too low, you may even be banned from boarding airplanes or high-speed trains. This has a long-term impact, as every action is posted on a board by the community committee, affecting your social standing. In the modern world, paper money is disappearing, replaced by bank balances held on your phone. Even in our country, paying via phone is becoming common. However, in this sector, China and the so-called developed world are as far apart as heaven and earth. China hasn't seen paper money in years. There is no such thing as an ATM. In most places, credit cards don't even work. A cashless society is a reality here, not a sermon. China's challenge is tourists from the rest of the world who, used to their own countries, expect to pay for everything in cash or by card. To solve this, she has implemented a system where anyone who sets foot on her soil can live cash-free. It might take the rest of the world 20 or 30 years to reach China's level. Here is why. In our country, for example, there are over 40 banks, each with its own payment app. Even within one bank, you find 3 or 4 apps with confusing differences: mobile banking, wallets, and other names. Downloading all these, remembering passwords, and waiting for SMS confirmations is tedious and time-consuming. This isn't just our problem. In any developed country, to buy a product online, you might have to open 3 or 4 different apps. In China, there is no such headache. They download one magical app, WeChat. Life becomes simple. WeChat is everything for China. They use it like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. They use it like Amazon and like a bank. To buy a product, you don't need another app. You find it on WeChat. If you like the product, you pay on WeChat. If you want to message a friend with text, photos, or video, or have a video conference with up to 500 people, or translate a text from one language to another, there is nothing WeChat cannot do. Because of this, 1.3 billion people use it every month. This is only possible because China is a sovereign nation. If a Western app tried to do all this, it would be sued for holding a monopoly on the market. The world's richest man, Elon Musk, has made great efforts to create an app called X that is similar to WeChat, but so far he hasn't succeeded. In China, all of this is done by a single company called Tencent. China wasn't built on infrastructure or technology alone. China's foundation is the family. Family is the center of everything in China. Unlike the Western lifestyle, individualism is unknown in China. Families do not live apart. From grandparents to great-grandchildren, they live together. Respecting elders is not just a virtue, it is a duty. For the peace and unity of the family, every member must sacrifice individual desires and interests and show loyalty to the family through highs and lows. Children have a family responsibility to care for the elderly, and the elderly have a responsibility to raise their grandchildren, instilling traditional Chinese ethics. The story of China's population is not a straight line. In the 1960s, while suffering from poverty and the famine that claimed millions, China struggled with a rapidly growing population. To save herself from extreme poverty by reducing the number of citizens, she began following a one-child policy in 1979. This law, which lasted until 2016, forbade Chinese citizens from having more than one child. Today, those bitter times have passed. Having avenged the hunger and poverty that consumed millions of her people, China is now begging her citizens, please have children. The one-child policy was raised to 2 children in 2016 and to 3 children in 2021. Yet, the Chinese seem to have forgotten how to have children. Consequently, she has handed over the number 1 rank in population she held for ages to India and has become number 2. With the number of elderly increasing and the youth population decreasing, the Chinese government has moved beyond begging and started giving parents incentives and special benefits. When citizens have children, they are given subsidies for child rearing and school support. Tax cuts are also provided. In Guangzhou, for example, the city has begun giving cash subsidies to residents who have a 3rd child. Some regions even provide housing rental subsidies. Of the megacities found in the world, 50% are located in China. Cities are called megacities when their inhabitants exceed 10 million. While there are 34 megacities on Earth, 17 of them are in China. China's cities do not move randomly. They are the pillars of the nation's economy, each leading a specific sector. Shanghai, for instance, is the financial and trading hub. It is called China's New York. The world's largest container port is located in Shanghai. With high quality and accessibility, its subway system is unmatched globally. Home to 24 million citizens, it features the Shanghai Tower, the world's 3rd tallest building, and ranks 5th among world cities in the number of skyscrapers. Beijing is China's political hub. Home to 21 million citizens, the Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party, and international diplomats live here. Through diplomacy, it is creating a power that rivals Washington. Shenzhen is the world's technology capital, home to 17 million citizens and China's leading tech innovators, including Tencent, Huawei, BYD, and ZTE. Every Chinese tech company found on Earth is located here. The beloved iPhone is also manufactured here for global distribution. Until the 1970s, Shenzhen was just a fishing village. In 1979, China's first special economic zone was opened in Shenzhen. 45 years later, Shenzhen has become a global technology hub. We will conclude our visit with two cities that differ from the standard Chinese cities. The first is Macau, a special administrative region of China. Its GDP per capita is 6 times that of China itself. Because the entire city is built on gambling, it has been nicknamed the Las Vegas of Asia. In fact, it surpasses Las Vegas in gaming revenue. According to a 2023 report, Macau earned $22.6 billion in revenue from all types of gambling, while Las Vegas earned $14.5 billion in the same period. China has shown us that she won't even tolerate a citizen who crosses the street illegally. For Macau, however, the law changes. Understanding that people sometimes need a place to vent is wisdom. Macau didn't start gambling today. It has been a gambling city for the past 400 years. Macau is located 60 kilometers from Hong Kong on the South China Sea coast. Except for foreign affairs and defense, which are handled by China, it is entirely self-governing. Its total area is 33 square kilometers, and it has 750,000 citizens, making it one of the most densely populated places on Earth. Chinese and Portuguese are the official languages, and English is also used. It even has its own currency. From the 16th century until 1999, for 400 years, Macau was under Portuguese colonial rule. It has been only 25 years since it gained independence, the last place in Asia to be liberated from colonial rule. While belonging to China, there is another place that follows the Western lifestyle: Hong Kong. Under the principle of one country, two systems, it is part of China, but is a politically self-governing city. Home to 7.3 million citizens, it was a British colony, so its official languages are English and Chinese. Hong Kong, which follows a free market system, is a global center for finance and fashion. We conclude our visit for today here. Thank you for staying with us.